Bato51 coming to you live from Osaka here on twitch.tv/VG Bootcamp. It's Akala, it's Akakikusu in game number 1. The stakes are very clear, Artrix. Winner goes on, loser goes home.
One of these players is going to be able to meet up with Ashimo in that grand finals, and the man to do it might just be Akikutsu. What a great opening with all these aerials here, able to swipe out the minecart, but you can see, even though he was able to destroy the minecart, it wasn't before taking that damage. 20% off of one hit is something that you cannot just let slide.
Absolutely, and now you're seeing at 93%, Steve piling it on as well. The funny block character doing funny block things are tricks, but it is Hero. I mean, you really are getting like this is last comic standing right here. I don't even know how else to describe it, because you got the block and you got the shenaniganry, you got the menu. I mean, who is going to press B the best? Let's find out.
It's peak Smash Bros, man. There's going to be a lot of but no shenanigans. That back air, Akikutsu able to set it up, even with the long time it takes for that hitbox to come out, able to find out Akola, and Akola able to once again set up this up smash. You consider with a lot of characters when they are taken to stages with platforms, it's like, ooh, if I can set you up on the platform and then get my kill move, it's going to kill a lot sooner. Steve can make his platform wherever he wants, as long as he's able to get that up tilt, able to get that earlier kill off of the up smash. So exceptional tech there from Akola, bringing it out at every single chance he can. Akikutsu, though, not getting chased off stage. You can see Akola almost going for edge guards in this matchup, but every single time Akikutsu has been able to make it back.
Seeing now, Akala, Akikutsu. Oh yeah, you're looking for an option on the menu for sure. And you know what? Yeah, just build that. Why not? We're going to see Akikutsu taking advantage of that just a little bit, though, as reaching the outer limits of where those blocks can go, as that pink glowing light would indicate. But yeah, you do have zoom, if nothing else, to avoid the block shenaniganry up on the ledge. But Akikusu trying to catch the recovery from above the ledge with down smash, not finding it, but is able to get the stock one way or another. So now Cave of Life, Akala gonna go mining for resources, but it gives Akikusu a chance to do the same thing, weirdly enough.
It's a tough situation for the hero in that specific moment. If you have MP and you're able to buff, it's great. But in order to get the magic back, you need to be hitting your opponent, whether it's them or their shield, to be able to have access to that magic. You get it with time as well, but not at the same rate that Steve's getting his resources. So it's a battle in a battle of attrition where walls between the two of you, the block man wins.
Yeah, and now you got the gold, now you got the diamond weapons. You are chilling if you are Steve, and certainly you are chilling when you got a 1-0 lead on the person that sent you down into loser's side, Akakikusu.
Man's able to take a game. And I can't remember exactly. No, it was a 3-1, I believe, when these two played on the winner's side of things. There were games back and forth between them before, and it was still Akikutsu was able to bring it out in a 3-1. So that one game might not be everything here, but for Akola, it's a start. It's a start to build your way back into this grand finals that you are rightfully deserving with your seed. Also, Meister was seed 16? What? I'm just reading this? What?
I mean, hey, that's the Meister slander.
Like,
the Meister slander has reached Japan. Be very afraid. So we are.
I mean, I should have expected it because he played Akola. It was really early, but yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So we are going now to game number 2, and yeah, this is Akikusu at the very least tagging on a little bit more damage, but still swinging away, and having bounce certainly helps when it comes to minecart, right? But at the same time, man, like you were talking about how Steve is able to get the resources more efficiently. You're absolutely right, and you're seeing that bar being depleted as time goes on, but at the very least, if you're being made to fight, that gives you the chance to get that MP back through swinging the sword, through doing your normals. As slow as they may be, you can still connect with them. Like, you can still play the game. You can still catch Akala lacking, as perhaps the explosion. Akala still doing well to live, well DI'd by the former world number 1. And now, this is Akala, still the once and future king, doing the work, and still finding a sword to the face from Akakikusu, and we are seeing a window into how Akakikusu made that winner's side magic happen.
It was just reset after reset there that Akikutsu was swinging at Akola with, just hitting him out of his minecart, and then just doing little safe hits on the shield, catching him with one hit, and then eventually finding that forward air. You did the damage, so you get the payout. It's beautiful to see as he now is chasing Akola down with the Christmas tree that his hero. Man has both of his buffs, so he's gonna go crazy with it. They're gone now. A dash attack on the shield will get punished by that grab, but you were in a really good position in this game too. 3 stocks to 1, and this is what we were seeing from that first winner's side set between these two. Akikutsu is on a roll.
Akala now going to catch him with the up smash, but Akikusu again living, hanging on to that first stock, wanting to send a message, still living, going right into the corner.
He just won't die.
40, goodness
He
gracious,
refuses.
man.
You can't up throw there because it's town and cities, and so at 140, that grab, Steve is not going to be able to get the stock. A Randy F smash here, if you're lucky, can take a stock. The spells are all out. We're jumping over the minecarts here. It's 100% for Akikutsu's game this entire time. A forward throw could be done into the block. Still not going to die. Everything is going his way. And I can't be... It's not just RNG. I don't know how it's all going his way during this game too, but it just has. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, we're seeing something happen here, but I mean, the only way that I can really describe it is that Hero at the moment is being funnier. Like this is this is what you have to do. You just have to out comedy the straight up ignorant character, and a back air to boot. Akakikusu gets on the board here in Losers Finals. Would do well to get 3rd place in this tournament, but you know that this hero is thinking well beyond those measures.
That was such an insanely beautiful setup from Akikutsu there, where he used that first charge of the Fireball, which is such a good combo confirm move to set up. However, he didn't have the Accelerado, which is usually what to combo off of that Fireball. Instead, he calls out Akola's bad option in disadvantage. He saw that air dodge was going to come, and so knowing that he had the frames to bring it out, just jumped straight past him and used back air. It was a beautiful way to sign this one off and bring us to this game 3, where they are both at 1 apiece. A switch up of the stage to the smaller version of Animal Crossing. We're here at Smashville. How is it going to benefit Akola? Let's see.
See now, I mean, it's like, you're basically stepping into the octagon, right? This is where you go when you want to knuck up and fight. And this is probably what you want to do if you're Steve. You have the buttons, you have relatively non-committal options, and just like that, you have the anvil that does all the work for you off stage from go to KO in about 23 seconds, and it's looking real good for Akala right here.
It could be something that he's thinking about in this stage pick of Hero likes to have a lot of time off stage so he can look through his menu and find the zoom. On Smashville, the bottom blast zone is so close to that center platform. It's not a long journey down, so you're not going to have the same amount of time that you would on other stages in order to find zoom. Akikutsu is going to have to be very quick on the draw if he's using that recovery option, but not finding time to do it here. Doesn't tech the block. Tech rolls on the stage to get past the F smash. That was such a good disadvantage option from Akikutsu. It's something that you don't often see people escape, that block setup.
Yeah, and it's I feel like if you get hit with it enough times, maybe you have an idea of what happens, but you're going to see now the blocks starting to clear away. You see that crafting table on the edge, and goodness gracious me, blowing right through the ledge gambit, and Akikikusu getting the KO off of the side, but right after the anvil just dropping on the head of Akikikusu. How many anvils can you take before you start to get annoyed? I mean, it would do away a normal man, but this is Hero we're talking about, Artrix. It's quite admirable.
Hero has decided that he's going to take no more. The bounce has come out. All of these projectiles are not going to Cola, and you can see him recognizing this, and in doing so has built that wall. He's like, as long as you have a move that makes you completely not interact with my tools, fine. I'm not going to interact with you either. Let's set up the wall, let's build some resources, and let's build ourselves back into this game. He's had the lead the whole time, and now he has these back airs, which will kill eventually, but a parry off of the F smash gives Akikutsu enough time to send one of his own. Sends a call to the last stock. I'm not going to lie, I thought it was one sucker piece for a second there, but we still have some more game in us.
No, Akikikusu, if nothing else, doing the work for the people, doing a I mean, getting the KO off of the parry, like you mentioned, this is something special that we're seeing from Akikusu. No matter the result of this set, this has been something special as Akala is going to take game number 3, and all of a sudden, Akikusu could very well be on the way towards the exit in this series. But at the same time, you're talking about someone who is playing relatively well. You're talking about someone who, I mean, you could talk about, who deserves a win, who doesn't. Akikusu has done well enough to, at the very least, have a good account for himself. Like this is not something that you need to be ashamed of, regardless of what the score is. Like you can look back on this and see a lot of positives to take, and you can certainly look back on that top 8 qualifier and take a few positives from that as we go to Pokemon Stadium 2 to play game number 4.
It's interesting to think that looking at these games, especially looking at the game 2, did see Aki win. He does feel like he's playing better here in this set of the loser's side to qualify for grand finals, but it just hasn't been enough. It's always just falling short. On those first 2 games we saw, I feel like it was that last hit, and the back air from Steve is just so potent in those last hit situations. Akikusu has to be a bit more careful, a bit more safe, and has to build up an early lead, as he's done so far in this match, using the buffs exceptionally well here, running out of Acceleratle and running out of the Strength, whichever one of the 2, I wasn't sure which one. The multi-hit one, because he did multiple hits, so taking that first stock is very, very important here in this situation. So let's see if the ledge trap comes through, if Akala's just going to breeze straight through with his minecart. Yes, he does.
Yeah, at the very least, you have bounce up on hand, right? Because you're doing, if nothing else, just a little bit to make life more difficult for the Steve. But because it's a command grab that's also a projectile. Go figure. This is just what the game is now. Deal with it. But you're also having to negotiate that menu and find the right options. But when all else fails, you have your sword, and all of a sudden, Akikusu with a slight lead. Can he hold it, Artrix?
It's fun to think of the fact that against any other character, Akikusu, right in that last couple of seconds that we saw, he found 3 different kill moves. He did. He connected 3 moves on Steve. It just so happened that 2 of them was sent straight into a block, which Akola can tech. And this is what this player does when he's at those higher percents. You have to look out for where the blocks are placed and hit him away from them. So many people would just be adamant to, it doesn't matter, I'm going to hit this forwarder because I know it kills, but Akola's just going to DI into that block and save himself regardless. Building up the percent here is what we need to see from Akikusu before these up tilts become any more dangerous than they already are. You can see how much damage it does to your shield, so you need to get out of those situations as soon as you find yourself in them.
So taking a look at the larger extent of this, as Akala gets that first stock to take it to 2 apiece. Out of curiosity, you see Asimo in grand finals. Certainly Asimo has been watching the set. Certainly Asimo has been watching Akala all throughout this tournament. What is it that you are looking at in Akala's gameplay that you could perhaps exploit as Ryu?
The exploitation kind of has to come around how you play around these blocks. And I feel like something that some players forget, but some players love to think about, is the fact that Ryu can cancel his moves off of hitting the blocks. So if you can be faster around those walls, it's something that Akikusu deals with range. His way of getting through the blocks is that I have a big sword and I have big magic buttons. That's how I can get through. When it's Ashimo, though, he's a stubby little guy with stubby little feet. He's just a man, you know. And a man's still going to make things work against the block man. It might not be a call that we're meeting in the grand finals, however. It's still a very even game, which is what the percentages would say. It is not what the resource bar says. That F smash to the face, taking Akikusu to his potential last stock of the tournament. He's going to have to bring something big out.
I like how you described Ryu as just a man, and then Steve is just kind of there. It's like
he's the block guy.
Steve has become Death, Destroyer of Worlds, something like that. Yeah, no, fair enough. It's like one of those creatures that had to sacrifice some of its humanity in order to get supernatural powers. That's what Steve is. You know what? And when you're able to wind up like that, maybe that's the case. Yeah. Maybe you're just able to do that because Akala really just summoned blood sacrifice and ate the Pope. That's crazy. So
he's completely reversed the winner's side of things. direction.
Yeah.
Akola
Yeah,
does the
and-
opposite to him and losers. Poetic, if you could say.
You know, there's a little bit of serendipity in that, but we are going to get Akala versus Asimo in grand finals, and it comes down now to these two as Asimo is going to approach the stage. Akala just kind of sitting there and chilling. And what else do you do when you are among the top players in the world? Doesn't matter if you're in losers bracket, you make that man. That is what you do when you're